Hi friends, welcome back to my channel today. Thank you for the new viewers who are here. Today we are going to talk about the things that you need to do as you wait to start dating. I have 4 of them, and number one thing, let's get to it, is you have to define the kind of person you want to attract. So if you're a lady, you have to define what kind of man do you want to be with. If you're a guy, you have to define what kind of woman are you expecting or hoping to attract to your life. Why this is important is because there are so many people out there and they're all different. And you have to know what you want. You cannot accept anyone who comes your way. And that's why it's important for you to have these things written on paper. For example, you can decide if you would like someone who has a child out there that probably didn't marry the woman or the man that they had a child with. Is that something you are okay with? Or decide if you're okay with someone who's been divorced before, married and divorced before. Also define whether you want to be with someone, if you're okay being with someone who drinks alcohol, and how much do they drink, what's your limit, what can you take, what can't you take. Also define if you're okay with someone who smokes or one who doesn't smoke, and if they smoke, what do they smoke. And the reason is you don't want to waste time with people who you do not want, trying to figure out what you can take, what you can't take. The sooner you make this list of these things, the easier it will be for you to navigate the dating pool without wasting time. And there's nothing good like knowing what you want. Someone who knows what they want, they don't waste time. They have clarity on what they want. If you haven't watched my video on how I met Lee, it's on my description. But I do say that I compromised with Lee in terms of him being divorced and him having a baby with somebody else before they met me. That's something that was on my non-negotiable, the list of my non-negotiables. But I did compromise a little bit because I came to know how he got to be divorced and how he became a father with someone who he isn't married to anymore. So you have to leave room, as much as you're going to have this list, you have to leave room for compromise. And I'm not saying you have to compromise, and also it depends on what you're compromising on. But you don't want to be so rigid that you don't have understanding to understand the past of the person who's coming to you, or the person who is pursuing you, or the person you're pursuing. So if someone's divorced, and you need to know why did they get divorced. For example, like with Lee, it's because of his health getting bad and this person couldn't take it anymore. Well, that's not on him. So I compromised on that, and I know he didn't desire his baby. He wanted so much to be a father to that child, but he was denied the chance to. So I compromised on that one, and I am the happiest woman in the world because I was loved with the best man, the imperfect, perfect kind of guy that I got for myself, the kind of guy that I took into my life, and I'm so proud of it. So you have to leave some room for compromise. You have to give that person a chance to explain and talk and tell you what happened, and then decide. Don't be rigid. I don't say you need a list so you can be rigid with it. No, I just mean like you need to know where you're headed, know what path you can take, know who you can take and who you cannot. Number 2 thing that I would say you need to work on when you're waiting for someone that you can be with or date is ask yourself, what am I bringing to the table onto this relationship myself? Because it's unfair for you to get into a relationship expecting that person to be this and you don't even know what you are. So you have to work on yourself. You have to work on your patience. If you're very impatient like me, you have to work on being more patient because you need it in your relationship, you need it in your marriage. But if you sit there and don't work on it, then you're gonna end up with a heartbreak, a broken marriage, a broken relationship, because you just couldn't take much. You got full so fast. Or you probably don't forgive that easily. Then you're gonna be all worn out, carrying baggage of unforgiveness. So if you know you have these things to work on, you have to know you're bringing this kind of kindness into your marriage, into your relationship, into this person's life. If it's patience, you're bringing patience, patience for mistakes, patience for imperfect people. They need that. You need to bring grace to this relationship, and that's something you have to start working on before you meet them. Most people are so ready to get married, but they ain't really ready for marriage. You don't know how much work it takes to sustain a marriage. And that's why most people don't work on their habits and their character and their shortcomings, because they want to change when they get there. No, you don't prepare for a job when you get there. No, you prepare to be good for that job that you're applying for now. Same thing with marriage. Don't cross the bridge when you get there. Start preparing for it right now. So work on yourself. Make sure you bring good things to that relationship as much as you want the other person to bring good things to that relationship and things that add value. You have to add value to one another. And as much as you're expecting them to come as a whole package, you're going to be a whole package as well. Number 3, the third thing that I would advocate for you to do in your singlehood is to get rid of unrealistic expectations. We can really have expectations of people. For example, I'll say some women out there expect their husband or their boyfriend or their future spouse to take care of their bills and their food and their everything. You know, the financial status, you're just leaving it for the guy. That you're leaving all the responsibilities that have to do with finances to your man because he's supposed to provide. I understand he's supposed to provide, but remember that no one is perfect. And remember, wear one person out if you put so much baggage for them to carry. That's not a union. That's kind of a contract. And marriage is a covenant. You're here to help each other along this life. So when you leave one thing for someone to do because they're supposed to do that, that's very much unfair for them. Also for the guys, you can't expect your woman to do everything in the house because she's a woman, she's supposed to do that. You're supposed to help her when she needs that help. Do not expect for them to do that every single day. What if they can do it? What if they're tired? For example, because the guys, Lee was very good with me. He took good care of me. He helped me a lot. He would do laundry if I wasn't able to do it, or if I was at work and he was home, he would do laundry. He would fold it, and he would apologize if he washed and didn't fold because his body wasn't feeling that great. You know, if I got home and I was tired, Lee would prepare me dinner, bring it to me, serve me, we eat together, watch a movie. He'll put everything away and rub my feet and I go to sleep. He did a lot of good stuff that I don't want to mention right here because we'll be like what? Still good stuff. Oh, that's really for another day. But I mean, you're there to help each other. This is not for women to do, this is for men to do. You are here to help each other. Do what you can to add value to this person's life. So do not have those unrealistic expectations because we are all human. We fall short. We need grace. We need love. You know, we need patience. Because that's gonna set you up for failure because the person will feel so much pressure to live up to some certain standards that they didn't even know they were coming into. So let's be graceful enough with each other and kind and leave some room for people to expand and to be themselves and not to feel like they're locked in a box and they have to be a certain way. The fourth thing that I am really advocating for those people who are waiting to meet their partner or their future spouse do when they're single is build confidence in your singlehood. Be happy when you are single. Singlehood is not for you to be frustrated and angry at your life and angry at everybody. You don't even have to be angry. Let's say you're just sitting there waiting to meet this person. That's a waste of time because no one is perfect. You and I have a lot of work to do on ourselves as we wait. Read books that help you become the kind of woman that man you're waiting for or that woman you're waiting for wants to have in their life. Do not just sit there. Read any book that has something to do with helping you become the woman of excellence that you want to become, or the woman of excellence that God wants you to become, or the woman of excellence, or the kind of woman that the man you're waiting for wants to have in their life. You know, also work on your shortcomings as well. Work on your impatience. Work on your lack of forgiveness. On your lack of kindness. Work on jealousy if you have it. You know yourself better than anyone does. Work on your greed. Work on your self-esteem and lack of, confidence. Work on that as you wait, because you need to also be perfect, and not perfect, but imperfect perfect person for the person you're waiting for. Do not waste time. There's a lot that you can do in the meantime, and learn how to be happy alone so that whether you meet someone or not, you're still gonna live a fulfilled life. But don't sit there angry and waiting, doing nothing. There's a lot that you can do. Go love somebody else, and I don't mean in that way. I mean like love on other people who are around you. Serve them, give them love, give them service, give them kindness, give them forgiveness. You know, as you work on being confident in who you are and the state that you're in right now, because singlehood is a gift based on how you see it, and it's also a season in your life based on how you see it. And as I say, it can last a long time, it can last a short time, it can last for life. And you don't want to be an angry, frustrated, single person in this world. You want to be happy regardless. I'll say like, Grace, I'm joyful. I am joyful. I am so joyful. And I have gone through grief. I lost weight. And I am not always angry. If anything, people tell me you're doing really well, you're handling it really well. But I'm happy. I'm not frustrated, and I'm not showing it to the whole world. And I haven't lost any confidence in myself. You know, I seek joy. I seek to be happy. So be confident in your singlehood and work on being confident if you're not yet there. And to recap it all, I'll say, number one, define what kind of person you want to attract. Number two, ask yourself, what am I bringing to the table? Number three, work on loosening those unrealistic expectations that you have set for the person you're waiting for. Number four is work on being confident in your singlehood and happy in your singlehood. If you like my content, subscribe, leave a comment, tell me what you'd like me to talk about next time. I appreciate that. Criticize me. If there's any critics you have in store for me, I like that. And I'll see you on Saturday. I love you all. Thanks for being here. Ciao.